Hi, class. This is Mr. Waugh, and this is kind of a video I'm making for you to help walk you through an assignment that you're going to be starting tomorrow and going into Friday, October 11th and October 12th. So I just want to kind of lay out for you what you're going to do because I'm not going to be here, and I want you to be able to reference this video. The handout that you see in front of you on the screen right now, Feuding, Fighting, and Praying, is what the sub is going to give you. And I want you also to make sure that you reference the future announcement on Google Classroom that kind of gets into detail what I'm expecting with this. But kind of to jump right to it, you're going to be following these directions, and you're going to be writing what's known as a hypertext document on one of these topics. Now, of all these topics right here, you can see there are 9 of them total. All of them have to do with historical background information on the epic poem Beowulf, which we're going to be starting today and will take us into the next few weeks as we study this major part of literature and this part of our culture and our history. So now, hypertext. All right. Hypertext is not as, I don't know, difficult, I guess maybe as it sounds. Hypertext is really a piece of writing in which you highlight certain terms or phrases and then link them to somewhere on the web that expands on the topic you're referencing in the text, or adds to someone's understanding of what's being said. All right. Now to kind of really try to flesh this out a little bit more, I'd already mentioned these topics. This paper, hypertext document, really, is going to be on one of these, as I said before, 9 topics. You can choose whichever one you want, whichever one sounds interesting to you. You can write a report on it, and that's what this is going to be changed here. This is not going to be an oral report on this. This is going to be hypertext. Okay. Now, once you've chosen one of these topics, the first thing I want you to do is research. Read up on it. You can use Google. You can use any kind of legitimate historical resource, .orgs, .edus, Wikipedia. And I know that you're probably your entire high school career, and I have even at times, I'm pretty sure admonished you guys, I think in World Studies if you had me, to kind of steer clear of Wikipedia. But this time, you can do a quick reference to Wikipedia to see what they've got there. Make sure you check what's being referenced. Go down to the reference page and make sure that you check out the different sources the Wikipedia author has used. But you can, I'm going to allow this time, and you can reference Wikipedia for some of these things. Just make sure that you check the sources that are being used there. So once you land on one of these, you're going to research it, you're going to read up on it, and then you're going to write your hypertext document. All right, and I want to explain further now what do I mean by hypertext. What does it does it look like? So this here is an example of a hypertext document. It's not actually mine. This is from a classmate's of mine in a current class that I'm actually taking. And this very straightforward report on bats is an example of a hypertext document. Okay. You'll notice here that as she opens up her opening paragraph on bats, she links certain words. All right. Now, this is meant to help you with a deeper understanding of the topic. So, for example, let me just click on one. So she says, bats are found in Maine. Bats that are found in Maine all belong to a family of Vespertilioidea, all right, or just known as vespers. And if I click on this link, okay, it takes me to Merriam-Webster's definition of this species of bat. All right. So as I'm reading this, a nice little cat pop up there as I'm trying to get off the screen. So as I'm reading this hypertext, this bat helps me with a deeper understanding of Maine vespers. She goes on, she said that the time of dusk and again before dawn are the best opportunities to observe these aerialists. We click on that, and it's another vocab term. Just so you know, I mean, this isn't all, it doesn't have to all be a vocab. For example, if you go down to further in the paper, and she says, perhaps the most well-known foraging strategy that complements the bat's sight and aerodynamic ability is sound. The big brown bat, Ptesias fuscus, eats large insects such as the common June bug that it may find by sight, since these beetles are large, or by sound coming from the beetle. And if I click on this link, it takes me to a YouTube video, right? Where, if you listen, you can hear the sound of the beetle. Now, so I guess my point here is, guys, is that a hypertext document really kind of expands on what it is that you're writing the report on. It helps you dive deeper into what it is that you are talking about. Okay, so going back to this, you're going to choose one of these. You're going to write a report, and as you write your informational report on this, this is not some sort of a deep analysis on the historical significance of warriors and weapons and guilds and all this stuff. What I'm looking for here is 1 to 2 pages of hypertext where you give me very straightforward information, much like what she has here about bats, and you are linking to sources that helps expand our knowledge of things. So again, for example, a bat uses echolocation, and we go to the Smithsonian Mag here, and the source is going to come up, and it's going to be a video on how bats use echolocation. All right. So no, all right. So this is just kind of me trying to give you an idea of what I'm asking you to do. There will be written instructions for this. Again, you have some liberty in choosing what you want to do here. But just to be, again, concrete, you are going to write 1 to 2 pages of hypertext on one of these topics. When it comes to the links, notice here that she's got quite a few. I would tell you that you should try to have at least 5 links in your hypertext document. It would be better if you had more. But if you're thinking, okay, look, with the sources I have and the different things that I've read, I'm not, don't know where to or how many to use, I should say. We should have a minimum of 5 in there at the very least. Now, one more thing here before I try to wrap this up, and as we kind of finish using this as an example. Knowing where to place these is important. Thinking about what you want the reader to know more about would mean that you're trying to narrow down what you think is most important, right? So if you're here, okay, and let's just say that you choose number 2, warriors and weapons, the Thane, the feud, the Verguild, the sword, what have you, all right? And so you're thinking about this and you're writing about it. What is it among these things that you really want to focus on? So let's just say you're going to focus on the Verguild, all right? Well, let's see what a real quick Google search on the Verguild. Okay, brings up. Well, we've got a Britannica here. We've got a definition by Merriam-Webster. So we've got a kind of an encyclopedic resource here that we could link to. We could link to a definition. That would be very helpful. But remember, you could also do videos, right? There are some videos here that you would probably, want to forgo, but, check some of them out, make sure that they're legit, and potentially link to them. But again, only if in your text you are looking to emphasize an understanding or enlarge in an understanding of a particular subtopic between or among your topic. Okay, so when you are composing your hypertext, I also want you to make some comments about why you linked to those particular sources. All right. Now, for this aspect component of it, you see here, and then we were just in class here, and I was commenting on her hyperlinks. But what I want you to do is to comment on your own hyperlinks. You're not going to be sharing this with anybody but me, okay? But I do want you to make comments on your own links, because I want to know why you chose to link to a certain piece of information. What is it about that piece of information that you found interesting? Why does it expand the reader's knowledge of what it is that you're talking about? All that good stuff. Okay, so if you've got questions, please feel free to email me. I do want you to compose this In fact, because it's a hypertext document, you really kind of need to compose this as a Google Doc. So this first, and again, it needs to be a Google Doc. You're going to choose from this list, and as you start researching and going through there, keep track of the resources, online resources that you might link to in your hypertext. And then remember to kind of make sure that you're taking some notes on the usefulness of the resource so that you can make, we'll try for a realm of at least 3 comments on the different sources that you link to, and then telling me why you link to them. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Again, if you have questions, email me. I'll be out, but I'll try to stay in touch and address any questions that you have. All right.